There are a lot of questions that I get about preparing and getting ready to go to a tournament with your favorite Warhammer 40,000 army. Another one of the big questions, other than having your rulebook, your chest clock, your counters and extra dice and little, doodads like this that I find very useful as game aids. One of the questions asked to me is, Skari, how do you transport your army so that it doesn't get broken and you can use it no matter how far you go? Well, that's what this part of the video is about. I use foam. I use battle foam or other trays. This is probably an old GW foam, but this is the simplest way. And I'm going to show you the trays that I use to basically transport my army into to the event.
The Dark Kid.
So there are a lot of different companies that make trays. There are a lot of different companies that make display cases and carry cases and a variety of different things. Personally, when the Dark Eldar, so these are about 10 years old now, but when the Drukhari range was remade, Battle Foam released a series of foam that was deep like this and pre-cut like that. So I've been using their foam for a long time. There are ways that you can order like custom foam, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there are other companies that do that. This is just ease for me because it's the company that I know. Now, this one here is the original one that I got. So this has traveled with me to LVO. It's traveled with me to the ETC. It has traveled with me to England, Europe, everywhere. This has gone with me to Vancouver, British Columbia. It is the tray that I use all the time. As you can see, it is a 3 Ravager, 2 Raider tray. Now, even though the foam is cut for Raiders, I don't always put Raiders in there. But it's very, very, very simple. Just grab an entire Ravager or Raider and just simply slot them in there. Coolest thing ever is it is flush with the top, which means that no matter how much I put on top of it, it's not going to break the fancy sails and the little trophies and things that I put on there. So that's the first one. Now, if there are any that are empty, I use them for characters being solo or fill them up with Talos or whatever. So it gives me some variety to kind of travel with it. One of my favorites, though, is this one. It's the Venom and Razorwing Jet Fighter. Simply put, you take the Razorwing Jet Fighter off the base, you just slot him in there nicely, and then you can grab this guy here and essentially just slide that right into there, which is cool. I do have 3 Venoms in this list, so luckily enough, it's going to fit all 3 of the Venoms. And then the last Venom slot I'm going to use to put Drazar in, and probably my Archon, because they are a little bigger than normal, and you don't really want to put them in a tray without them getting completely destroyed. So you can see there, and you can put a little bit extra foam in there if you don't want them to bounce around or whatnot. A lot of the times, that's not really an issue. But now Archon Skari is nice and snug together with Drazar. Last but not least, this is a brand new one that I got. The Reaver Jet Bike one, which I haven't had in forever. But I have a feeling I'll be using my Reaver Jet Bikes more. So they just slot in nicely. Full base and everything right into there. So that is how I pack my army. And then, of course, the regular trays for the regular models, just like this. Now, this is not really a super display army. Like, it's painted. It's a tournament man's army or a tournament person's army. Essentially, I've painted them to just be able to play. And if you have a very high standard, very expensive army that you've spent a lot of times, it's more of a showcase army, then this might not be the method for you, so that you're not rubbing up against the foam or whatever. But for me, the average tournament goer, it is perfect. As you can see, the army is now packed away, ready to go on a trip to a tournament. Now, what I put it in is normally a pack 720. So Battle Foam makes a variety of these bags. They are also adjustable, adaptable. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller, you can add extra compartments. Pretty snazzy. I got this one from the Hooded Goblin, which is one of the channel sponsors, so make sure you check them out. So, this is relatively small, and I know that it's not going to fit my jet bikes. I know that already. But it does fit at least one of these big ones, right? And so far, I'm not using all the space, as you can see. So if I wanted to take these jet bikes overseas or something, I'd probably just fit the jet bikes in here, and then they would fit quite nicely. It also fits this one here, like that. And last but not least, it does fit a one infantry tray quite comfortably. And then I just put a little foam thing on top of that. You close this up, you zip it, it's ready to go. Now, I'm going to a local tournament, so I just have another little foam thing to go with me. But in the case, this I have put in the overhead compartment of an overseas flight. In smaller planes, what I am able to do is you take this out like this. I take the trays out. The trays will fit quite nicely, to be honest, under the seat or in the overhead compartment as trays. And since they're foam, you can sort of squish them a little bit. And then if you need to, this bag does compact quite a bit. And you can just kind of crush it like this and squeeze it into the compartment or under the seat. And then when you're ready to go, just pull it out and then like that. And that's how I've been able to travel all over the world with just this as a carry-on and my entire army in tow. And there you have it, an entire army ready to rock and roll. So what else do I travel with normally? I travel with my trusty Skaredcast satchel. That's right. If you haven't checked out the merch thing and you want to go to an event or something like that, check it out. We got some really cool stuff over at the Dream Tea store, and Patreons get 15% off every month with a code, which is kind of cool. And it's amazing. I love it. So in here is essentially the space that I need for everything. Got my rulebook, got Phoenix Rising, got my codex. There's a really cool little extra thing back here where I put like stickers and stuff when I hand them out to people. I also have space for my chest cloth, always important to have. I've got a couple extra little satchels or things in there for additional doodads. Have my entire dice bag over here, which is really neat as well. That's right, nice Skaredcast dice bag. And I also have a little bit of hand sanitizer and or deodorant and a mask, considering the times that we live in at the moment. And then over here, I've got my little dials for command points and stuff. And this is my trusty Cities of Death tin, which I've had forever. There we go. And this is awesome. Check out the stutter scrub. Objectives, wound markers, drug markers, all that good stuff. And of course, good old measuring tape. Pen, paper, all that good stuff is also something useful to have. But there you have it. This is the full complement. When I go to a tournament, it's pretty much all I travel with. My satchel, that, and some food and drink and something like that, usually a lot of the time. So, what do you take your army in? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you liked this video, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and or huge shout out to all this channel Patreons, thanks to whom I can do this sort of video. I really appreciate your support. Check the links down below for more. I've been Skari, your grateful host. Signing off until next time. Skari out. Ah, the Dark Kin.